What does neurosequential mean?
The neurosequential model is a way that we understand the brain and how to work with people that was created by Dr. Bruce Perry of the Neurosequential Network down in the United States. And it means to work with somebody in the order that their brain developed and with the part of the brain that's the most active at any given time. So when you were talking about feeling like you were really stressed out sometimes and you need to have your friends beside you to calm down, when you were feeling really stressed out like that, would it have been really helpful for you for someone to say, Taya, you calm down right now? Would that have helped? Why wouldn't that have helped?
Because it just makes you a little more upset because it's like somebody's demanding you to do something and you don't know if you can actually do it right away.
It's adding more stress to you, right? And so the most active part of your brain at that time that you're really stressed out are those primitive lizard parts of your brains that we were talking about earlier. So if a teacher knows that, like, oh, there's Taya, she's really stressed out right now, I'm not gonna tell her to calm down, that's not gonna help. But what I'll do is I'll say, hey, do these two friends, do you wanna go sit with Taya for a few minutes? She's having a really hard time. That's speaking to the part of your brain that's listening, because when those friends go in, you're feeling relationship coming close to you, and that's helping you calm down. And that's the order of the brain. That's really a really simple example of working with the order of the brain. And for teachers to kind of understand what each of their students' needs are and how their brains work the best, they can help them plan out how to work in the order of those kids' brains to give them the best ability to learn in the school.
I think the other thing that you said that was actually really brilliant is that if someone said, Taya, calm down right now, you know right now because you're just sitting chatting with us that you actually couldn't calm down in that moment. Because you would. If you could calm down, of course you would do it, right? Nobody wants to be upset. And we always think that kids do the best that they can. And if they can't, then we have to figure out what's getting in the way of them doing their best. And so your point is actually the exact thing that we're trying to do with Ready to Learn, is that we're trying to figure out how to help kids and teachers too, because if teachers aren't calm and they don't feel supported, then the kids are going to feel that. Have you ever been around an adult that's really stressed and you're like, oh, that feels stressful, like you're kind of feeding off of it? So it is kind of contagious. Just like your friends are calming, adults are calming too sometimes. And so it kind of feeds off each other. But your point is actually so clever. You figured it out.
And I think that's another good point to make, that a big part of the neurosequential model and the way we're using it in Ready to Learn schools is working with teachers so they can kind of understand in themselves what their own response is inside themselves when kids are having trouble or when they're feeling stressed out as well. So for us as the adults to notice when we're struggling or having challenges, it'll help us know that we need to calm ourselves, just like we were talking over there about the breathing. That's what we really work with teachers on, is to know how to calm themselves through breathing or do other things, because we can't support kids in the best way that we want to if we're feeling really stressed out and dysregulated as the adults. And the feedback we've had from teachers so far has been really great. And one of the biggest things that we've heard from a lot of teachers is that they're learning things they didn't really kind of know or think about some of their kids before, looking at it through this new way of looking at people. And also they can look at themselves with this lens, we call it as well. The neurosequential model, that big word that Taya said earlier, is really like looking through a different set of glasses, like a lens. And it's a lens that can help us understand people, like the students and our fellow staff members, as well as ourselves through as well, in a way that's a little bit more compassionate and understands that people's brains are just working to protect them and help them get through every day the best they can.